this thing. So it is not some peon went into the question paper room and sneaked one paper out or had a click and it was a locally done for 4, 5, 10 students. No, handiwork of a gang. My lord, specific order to the Bihar police was placed before us, all material collected, meaning thereby all statements, all recovery of documents, case diary, and then the report.
Test is held, that really now, that really doesn't provide.
There are 2, 3 things into it. One, why grace marks to the students who attempted Canara Bank paper? Why grace marks? On 4th of June, they were granted, on 4th of June, they declared only one key. That is the SBI Bank question paper key. There was no Canara Bank paper key.
So 1 second.
How they evaluated those people without declaring a key?
Now this grace mark was given initially to whom?
Grace mark was given to the center numbers, which we have given the time number also, which is 1.
Was the grace mark given to only those who had to give, who got the SBI paper in the midstream, or what happened?
The grace marks were given only to those persons from whom the paper was initially given, which was withdrawn, and subsequently given the correct paper.
Right.
What happened?
That is all. In some,
Now, what happened to those students who who appeared in the wrong paper, the Can Bank paper.
Their marks were given on the basis of the answer key of their sequence paper.
And they were not made to have the reading.
No millets, no.
Because the
It's
level of
actually
difficulty is
correct.
roughly
Yeah,
the same.
same.
Fair enough,
Same.
fair enough.
It's-
Now, so therefore, the grace marks were given only to those whose papers were withdrawn and given the
Yes,
correct,
millet,
because they couldn't complete the
which
paper,
we counted as 1563.
which you counted as 1.5.
Based upon reports of city coordinators and CCTV footage.
This was like not available.
There were 8 centers across the country where the wrong booklet was distributed.
Yes, millets, and the
Now those 8 centers includes the 3 judges.
one of them at Jajjar.
Two of them.
No, wrong distribution is
Two of them.
Third was 100%
Distribution and
Canara Bank.
two at Jajjar. Yes, millets.
Where the wrong booklet was distributed and then recalled.
Recalled and grace mark was given to those candidates.
Now,
Indeed,
in the 8 centers across India, the same position that the centers, the papers were withdrawn.
Even time was not sufficient and therefore grace marks.
But the
Out
number
of
is
4750
3,300.
centers, this occurred, my lord, in 8 centers.
Oh, I see.
4,750 are the total number of centers throughout the country.
So 8, it happened that the wrong booklet was.
It's a wrong booklet, my lord. Whenever, for example, Jajjar, out of 3, 1, they completed. They were not,
They have not been given a detail, they are being
Yes.
graded. So 1.
they are evaluated based on their answers, my lord.
It's actually incorrect. Let me clarify it. My learned senior colleague gave 3,300 are the total student where the wrong booklet was given, withdrawn midway.
no.
And
Allowed to continue 3,000.
yes,
Millets, they are
3,300.
3,000 were allowed to continue. 3,300
They were allowed-
wrong paper. They attempted the wrong question paper.
Okay.
150. Yes.
Now, Lord, the next question comes is, on 4th of June, when they declared the result, on their website, they declared only one key. One key means only
SBI.
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 They didn't declare any other key. How they evaluated Canara Bank questions which was attempted, and where is this separate result they declared for this 3,000 people who attempted Canara Bank paper?
Must have had a key for Canara Bank also.
There is no key declared by them, my lord, till today. Let them show it today now.
Today.
No, not my lord. 1, 2.
All right. Now I'll tell you what. This is all okay. Now show us the data. Let's go into the hard.
Let me complete, my lord. Now, in this Hardyal school, where originally there were 8 people who came,
At the end of it, assuming that some
Lord,
problem happened.
data is a
something
circumstantial
happened.
evidence.
We are looking at the entire country now. Show us the data. I mean, that's the heart of the matter.
Lord, I will just allow me 2 minutes, Lord, because this,
You said 2 minutes, 11:25. We are not.
in the meantime, they start, Lord. Let me just quickly complete it. I was dealing with Hardyal school, Lord. Allow me to just to complete 2-3 sentences, and then I'll straight away come to the data. Hardyal school, 500 students, they attempted Canara Bank paper. Just notice them, Lord, and let them respond at the end.
All right, we'll just Hardyal School.
500.
Judger, no?
That's right, Bahadurgarh Jhajjar.
Yes.
Canara Bank paper, no Canara Bank paper key available till date. after re-examination, all the students were taken in the re-examination. Though there was no delay, admittedly, in distributing question paper,
So all the students at this
Hardayal
Hardayal school have been required to do a re-examination.
and in the re-examination, about 50% of them appeared, 50% of them did not appear.
That's also very spooky. Why do 50% not appear?
That's right. Only 813 out of 1563 in total appeared in the re-examination. That's also data.
The person who didn't appear got their original marks, opted to retain their original marks. That is the.
Now these 1563 are drawn from how many centers?
Lord, this they have not disclosed. They never disclose it, how many centers. They will answer it.
8 centers.
Eight.
Throughout. And as my learning friend rightly pointed out, they were given an option to retain the earlier marks.
And
They
all
didn't
is,
take a
Lord,
chance. That
and
was-
all is being done behind the curtain. Nothing was declared. Every day they have been giving press release, but with regard to this, there is not a single press release.
Things which, if you can ask, if you can just make a note of these 4 points, Mr. Solicitor and Mr. Kaushik.
Yes.
One, how many centers, at how many centers were the Canara Bank papers distributed?
Yes.
At how many centers totally were Canara Bank question booklets distributed? 2. Out of those centers, at how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced?
Yes, miss.
At how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced, namely of the State Bank of India?
Yes, miss.
Third, how many centers totally where the questions which were evaluated were the Canara Bank paper, the Canara Bank booklets?
Yes.
Whether there were any centers which were evaluated on the basis of the Canara Bank
Yeah.
booklet.
Yes.
All right?
Wrong paper was evaluated.
The paper was evaluated. And fourth, once the Canara Bank papers were evaluated, how did the candidates fare there?
Where is the key which
The
they have
performance.
ever declared till date? Canara Bank.
Why
paper.
have you not declared the key of the Canara Bank papers?
Yes, miss.
Fifth,
Yes, miss.
and finally, I want to know this, that before I formulate the question, suppose you and I go to Canara Bank or to State Bank of India and say, give me the question paper. You will not be given the question paper, right?
Correct.
How does Can Bank know that I am the right person who is authorized to?
Yeah.
So there has to be a letter of authorization,
Correct.
It's identity.
right?
Yes.
Now, who issues the letter of authorization?
Yes, miss.
Letter of authorization is issued by the district in charge.
NT.
Director General NT.
Director General of NTA.
NTA to the city superintendent as well as centers coordinators.
Now, what does a person take to the bank? Suppose I am the center in charge.
Yes.
Will I have an authorization both for SBI and for Can Bank, or I'll have only one authorization?
Yes.
Just ask that.
Yes, miss.
city coordinator is authorized. I'm sorry. Only city coordinator is authorized, not centers. He
So the
distributes.
city coordinator is authorized to go to one of the two banks.
Yes, correct.
Now, therefore, that authorization is given to the city coordinator when? When is that given to him?
In advance. Must be-
But is the authorization given for both the banks or only one bank?
I think should be for
Just
both
ask
banks
this line.
logically. For both the banks. Any, from which bank? It is given, authorization is given 3 days prior to the exam
For both the banks.
for both the banks. Then
The
he is
city
informed-
coordinator.
he is informed in the morning that you go to one of these banks and collect.
5 o'clock.
Now, if the city coordinator, suppose city coordinator was told on the morning of the 5th that you have to go to SBI, right? Now, that city coordinator would have all the centers in that city will be under his control, right? Now, did the city coordinator in this case at Jhajjar go to the Can Bank and get Can Bank papers which were then distributed to all the centers in his jurisdiction, or some centers got SBI and some centers got
That will have to be followed.
He collected both.
Factually will correct.
He collected both.
he collected both.
He collected both.
How did the city coordinator collect both? I mean, city coordinator at Jhajjar, he should have gone only to SBI,
Only one bank. please.
right?
Yes. ma'am.
Now, he went to Can Bank and he went to SBI both.
Both.
Now, all the centers under him, did he distribute the Can Bank question paper?
Let's one center Can Bank paper was was distributed, which was allowed to be continued. 2 centers, the question paper was distributed Can Bank, but it was withdrawn and SBI was given, that resulting in loss of time.
All Can banks distributed, 2 of them realized the mistake,
And
withdrew
Who
Can
did
Bank
realize the mistake?
yes,
out of the center coordinator.
No, but the center coordinator will.
Would not normally, no, we'll take the.
center superintendents are different. City coordinator is for all the 3 centers.
Right. So at Jhajjar, there were 3 centers.
Yes, let's.
Right? So he distributed the Can Bank paper to all 3?
All 3 initially. And let's in from 2, it was withdrawn and correct question paper was
But
distributed.
then why did he not withdraw it from 1?
That we'll have to, let's ask.
If he realized that he has made a mistake, he would have gone to all the 3 centers and said, look, I better give you the correct center. Why did
Time lapse may be the only reason. It was realized at the other center. By that time, maybe the time gap had gone beyond the reasonable time.
take instructions on that?
Assumptions.
Yes, yes. We will take specific instructions. We'll prepare a note on all these 6 questions, minutes, and
You're right. Authorization will be given in advance. You can't give authorization in the morning. Then he's informed how? He's informed on his phone.
on what the minutes app, which is created for the purpose of
And
coordination.
who informs him?
NT.
There is an
The
NTA app.
Director General NTA will
NTA
inform everyone across the country.
Yes, through the specific app created for this purpose of
That will be informed at 8 o'clock or so in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock.
Yes. There is an
And he
application.
was informed, go to the SBI.
Yes, please.
He went to both.
Yes.
But is Can Bank not informed that, look, your paper now don't distribute? Director General NTA would be informing the Can Bank that, look, your paper is not to be distributed. And he would inform SBI that only your paper is to be distributed, right?
Message goes to both the custodian as well as the city coordinator.
Then how did Can
Where the
Bank
lapse has
distribute?
taken-
Then how did Can Bank
Yes.
distribute it?
Where the lapse has taken place, we'll find out minutes and
There appears to be a lapse.
Right.
yes, the lapse is there.
Lord, there is another blunder. Hardayal school, in the first instance, despite the Canara Bank paper was given, allowed to be attempted, they gave grace marks to the students who appeared in the Hardayal school. And because of grace marks, 2 of the 8 students who came in the first
So,
topper.
Hardayal school, where the Can Bank paper was distributed,
Yes.
students were given grace.
They gave grace marks.
Why?
And the evidence of grace marks is, out of the 2 students in the first 8 from the Hardayal school, they got 718 and 719.